Hello everyone, this is Honeymaysims and welcome back to my channel for a brand new speed build. If you're new here, hi, welcome in, and if you are a returning viewer, it's so good to see you and I hope you've been well since the last time, and also happy new year to everyone. So today I am building some industrial apartments in Evergreen Harbor using the Sims 4 for rent pack plus a few other ones. I will as always list what packs I'm using for this build in the description if you'd like to see, and it's not too many, I gotta say, and I'm always very happy about that. So the idea for this build came from a real life building I saw on Pinterest of this, I guess, kind of like an old downtown brick firehouse converted into apartments or something similar, located in Boston. And I was actually contemplating making this build in San Moschino at first because of the downtown city vibes and other brick buildings, but those lots are very big, so I moved on to Evergreen Harbor and this lot called Canal, I think. So it's a small lot right by this older looking train station, and I thought it would be a nice addition here. And I gotta say, this build doesn't fit in very well with the other houses in this area because they're actually all very plain and similar looking. So yeah, but with eco lifestyle you actually get the option to modernize and upgrade the neighborhoods, but here it's the standard look for the neighborhood. I've been sort of split about this pack, like the eco lifestyle one, for the longest time. First because I love the build and buy objects, but the gameplay isn't exactly my cup of tea. So the environment impact system and then NAP system, I think it's called, have been turned off forever in my game since I feel like it's kind of annoying. Like for example, the sharing and caring NAP, like no thanks, I can't do without it. But otherwise I do enjoy the pack and the world coming with it, even though we have had this issue with like the world being blank when building in it, like the other buildings are sort of not there. But hopefully that is all fixed now. Anyway, so I imagined the backstory for this build is that it used to be an old factory of some sorts. So we'll have these brick in exterior walls dirted with like these wall decals from, I think it's either from For Rent or from the Basement Treasures kit. But I do think it's the former actually. But yeah, there will be these more like industrial looking windows, which are from Moschino stuff pack, and old worn doors from the Werewolves game pack actually. Also this dark metal staircase on the outside that's going to bring you up to the second studio apartment, and towards the end we'll also have some graffiti on the walls in front of the building. So the roofing is sort of a worn paneling, if that's the correct term for it, but I do think it fits perfectly here. So this one is from Island Living and it comes in a variety of really bright colors, but I feel like the black one was just the more appropriate one here. And another detail that I thought was fun was adding these two kind of factory looking chimneys on the side roof here. So I sized one of them up using tool mod just to have a bit of variety in the sizes. And I also do think these solar panels is probably a detail that's been added recently onto this building. And I was contemplating using the For Rent solar panels, but I just couldn't make them look right on the roof here since you'll need a certain height of the roof to kind of hide the underside of that item. So instead I went for the good old eco lifestyle solar panels. So it's a very dirty lot, as you'll eventually gather by the trash lying around. There's also this random pile of trash just lying in the front here, basically, like some planks of wood, a tire, and an old mattress, I do believe. So it's not a very well kept building. I do add this sort of fenced off, more private area in the back here. And here I added this big water tower, I do believe it is. And I really like the combination of rusted metal and the bright yellow on this live edit object. So very realistic, and I was originally planning on having the basketball hoop inside the fence fenced area, but once the water tower ID struck me, I put the basketball hoop on the outside there instead. And it doesn't look quite right there, I feel like, but I still wanted to include it here, so maybe like one of the people living here is really into basketball or something like that. In the fenced area, I added a dumpster and just a few activities like the ping pong table and the juice keg. I do think the people residing here might be young, just starting out, maybe even university students. And you'll see on the inside too that there's a lot of mix and match of furniture. So maybe they've just picked out some things from the flea market, that sort of thing. And yeah, both of the apartments will be sort of run down. And there's not a lot of green space on this lot, but I did make sure to sneak in a bit of grass on the side here, where we will have some trees, and also in the back. So, you know, we just have these kind of green spaces to brighten up the build a bit. Now, there's actually been a month since the For Rent pack was released, and I got to be honest, I haven't played too much around with the gameplay of it yet. There's been some bugs in the new pack, not really surprising, I feel like. Kind of like standard by now, and it's very unfortunate. I just wish the quality assurance of the packs was prioritized, and I was like so hyped about this pack, but once I got to playing, it fell kind of short. But the things I am most satisfied with from the pack must be the world and its environment though, plus the build and buy stuff. So the gameplay is down there. It's not too good yet, judging by like the bugs and everything. So I was saying this when the pack just came out, and I'll probably keep saying it, but if you want to get the For Rent pack, I would recommend you to wait a bit longer, maybe wait for a sale, and you know, just for the big bugs to get fixed. Like, I feel like the entire tenant property owner thing isn't working properly, at least not the last time I played with it. And it's kind of disappointing, honestly. And also, my building save file recently got corrupted, and I don't know how or why it happened. It was just like very sudden, but luckily I had saved the project I was working on to my library, so I didn't lose anything to my knowledge. I recently started a build in Tomarang, the new world with For Rent, and I'm building it on the Sungai Point lot, I think it's called, and originally there are units there, but I wanted to do a normal residential. So when my save corrupted, I made a new one, but I was unable to turn this lot into a normal residential one. So even when I changed it, it still says it's a residential rental lot. And I did ask around on Twitter on how to fix this, and apparently you need to unassign all the units first, then change it to residential. Like, not bulldoze the lot, unassign the units, and then change it. But that's such like a difficult way of doing it, so hopefully that will be fixed soon. And on top of bugs, my game starts been crashing more in general. It even actually crashed my entire PC once during stream, and that's never happened. So the situation is not looking too great, to the point that during December I didn't really open the game that much, like either build or do gameplay. And I've only gotten back to building the last week or so. But you know, it's been nice to have a break though. If you're a content creator or you just play The Sims a lot or any other game basically, you will know this. And it's only healthy to take a step back, recharge, because sometimes it can be a lot. It will drain your inspiration and motivation. And I feel like I usually get into this zone at the end of the year after creating content the entire year. But yeah, I did play some other games though. I've been obsessed with City Skylines 2 and House Flipper 2, and both of these games got released not that long ago actually. Like, City Skylines came out a few months ago and House Flipper in December, I think. So I've basically just been building cities and flipping houses throughout December and my Christmas holiday. Very cozy, would recommend. So yeah, back to the building. As you can see, I've started on the first apartment here, so I started with the one on the second floor. This one's got a super narrow balcony in the back with like the open doors there, but I did manage to fit in a chair and a grill, and surprisingly it's functional. For this apartment though, the pop of color I chose is red. So there's like the super bright red stove here in the kitchen and some reds on the bar stools, which I've mixed and matched, and I feel like just overall the brick is very red and brown too, very striking in color. And also from the entryway, you basically enter the kitchen, and that's normally not what I would do in my builds, but since this one is so small and I thought it would be more fitting to have the living room flow with the balcony, this is just the floor plan I landed on in the end. And the bed is also right next to the kitchen, which again, I know it's kind of odd, but it works. And you have a big window right next to your bed. I do put in some curtains for privacy, even though that doesn't really make sense in The Sims, but for the sake of realism, I put it in. And at first I did use the door with the werewolf graffiti on it, but that was before someone brought to my attention that only werewolves will be able to use this door. But luckily there is a duplicate of this door without the graffiti, so not the biggest change, since I was kind of struggling figuring out what kind of doors to use in this build in the beginning. So the kitchen is very simple. I used these rundown kitchen counters from City Living. We have a mini fridge here, and I mixed up these standard kitchen cabinets with this wall decoration cabinet from City Living. And I never use these ones, but it's such a pretty cabinet. The only thing is they're not as wide as the standard kitchen cabinets, so I used Tool Mod to size them up just a tiny bit. And the bed is actually a debug bed from Eco Lifestyle. You will probably notice you don't have this in your build and buy catalog, and that's why. Because I do believe you can find this bed while dumpster diving or something similar. And I won't show the bathrooms in this speed build, but don't worry, I will give you a tiny look in the tour at the end of the video when we jump into game. But overall, a very simple but rundown studio apartment. I'd say the second studio apartment stands very in style with the first one. It's kind of rustic and industrial, bit run down, so I used the base game industrial looking kitchen counters. I also dabble with the idea of having these metal beams go across the room here. I thought that was a cool idea, so I left it in. And I also attached these metal looking ceiling lamps to this beam. And another idea I had for this specific apartment was this couch with a pull out bed. So we have this worn like lime colored couch here, and I just simply moved a bed into the couch. So you can do this with move objects on very simply. And I could have gone for a love seat too. That probably would have looked a bit better, but I chose the 3-seater one and I placed the bed. So you still have one seat in the couch to sit on actually, and what do you know, this is totally functional, and I've seen others do it before. It's such a nice custom idea if you want to have more realism in your game. So you can mix and match different couches and beds too. So yeah, the pop of color in this apartment is actually green. The bar stools will have this green color too, and originally I used some of the Dream Home decorator items in the kitchen here, like the stove top and is it like just an oven you can place on a counter? Just to limit the packs I used, I changed these ones out with an actual oven though. I do believe it's this old like City Living one, yes. And yeah, I added this interesting bookshelf in the corner here from Discover University. It's definitely a do-it-yourself kind of idea with the concrete blocks as support and whatnot, but I do quite like this one here. It fits very nicely, and I just add this like cracked standing mirror, a few plants, the big TV, a punching bag, and also these air ducts in the ceiling. There's less clutter and trash in this apartment in comparison to the first one actually. And by the way, before I forget, I will not upload this apartment as residential rentals because I did have some issues with my last one, and having things disappear or corner counters and cabinets turning back to the default ones. So yeah, that was honestly so disappointing when I figured it out after uploading it. So just not to have this potential problem again, I will upload as residential, and you can add your own units, which should be simple with these 2 studio apartments. But that's basically it for the speed build, so let's jump into the game and check out what it looks like in real time. So here we do have the finished build in Evergreen Harbor, the industrial apartments, and I gotta say, I love how this one looks with the environment here. And I just like how it turned out, you know, with the idea of the rundown factory turned into apartments, like this kind of style. And I do hope you like it too. So let's check it out, what it looks like in the back here and also on the inside. It looks like we have someone visiting our lot here at the moment. But yeah, I have like these lots of details, honestly, like the water heater here. We have trash all along the wall here, lots of plumbing, and like these industrial looking windows and doors, and like this big water tower in the back. Like this idea, I'm really happy I came across this item. We've got like this pile of trash in the front here, and also like these bikes here. This is I think it's a live edit object from the For Rent pack, by the way. This is such a nice addition. I've been wanting something like this forever, and finally we've got it. So I gotta use it here. I have some bikes lined up, the basketball hoop, and yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with like all the little details just to make it more realistic and lived in. And on the inside, let's check out the second floor apartment first. So as I mentioned, the floor plan is maybe not the best thing ever, but I tried to make it work. So we walk into the kitchen here. There's like some reds and greens here along with like blues, basically a bunch of different colors mixed in together. We had the bed here like right next to the kitchen, posters, little like clutter items, and yeah, lots of like clutters on the coffee table here. And I quite like this apartment, very lived in. And as I said, this would be for like maybe someone just starting out. They have probably like some items they've gotten from someone else or from the flea market. That's sort of a thing. So also they have a tiny balcony in the back here, which I think is pretty cozy. And also I forgot to mention, we have the ping pong table here. We also have like this keg, dumpster, and yeah, just like a cozy little place in the back there. And here we have a very simple bathroom, I gotta say. Also a bit run down, probably not the best plumbing ever in this apartment, but it's something at least. So on the first floor here, oh, I see we have a little cat napping on the on the couch here. So I really like this door. It fits very nicely in with like the brick on the walls here. And this is like the couch with the pull-out bed that I mentioned. This is functional, by the way, so you can sit either here or they can sleep in like on one of these sides here. They have lots of natural light coming in through the windows. Just like a few activities like with the punching bag here. And let's just see. So yeah, she can definitely get into the side of the bed here. And I do like that. Also some layered carpets. And here is the pretty simple kitchen. So we have like this metal beam running across the room here, a column, some air ducts. Very realistic to this kind of build, I would say. So yeah. And also these like worn, rundown appliances here in the kitchen. And also the bathroom is also very simple with the shower, all the necessities you would need. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Quite a small but I think, detailed build. So that's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and a follow for more content in the future. If you want to be notified of when I upload a video next, make sure to click the bell icon too. This build is playtested and up on my gallery. My ID is Honeymaysims, or you can find me with the hashtag Honeymaysims as well. So thank you all for hanging out with me today as we made these industrial apartments, and I can't wait to talk to you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.